All right, we are back. I am your host, Yano from Chicago. Today we have a lovely listener, supporter of ours that called in and left a voicemail. I only played it once, so it was just the beginning of it. So let's play the full audio voicemail that we got, and we'll listen to that and we'll get our response. Thank you for the support as always. And anytime you guys do have any questions or voicemails, you can comment down below as to how to get that information, as to how to get your entry made, so we can, respond and get the love and support out as far as like making better content, more content for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Hey, it's your biggest fan here. I've been watching your podcast for a few days, and I was wondering, what would the NBA look like without the stars like LeBron James and Curry, because they're going to be retiring in a few years?
That was a great question from our caller. Kind of thrown off by that one. But the question was asked, he said, like basically where do I see the NBA going after, players like LeBron James and Steph Curry? Um, I believe that the NBA is in good hands as far as the talent, some of the players that are out there. As far as the marketability, which for another time and another debate, they say the viewership has dropped and has, gone down, um, over the years. And a lot of, people my age, a lot of people that's been watching basketball since, the 90s or beyond, they feel like the game has changed. It's a lot more, three point shots, 3 point attempts. As you can see, like, the average now, I think LaMelo Ball averages, 12, almost 13 threes a game. So the game has changed um, a lot. The players, some people may debate that the skill level has changed. I feel like some of the players are a little bit more skilled. You don't have more of the traditional uh, positions where you got a power forward, you got a center. Most guys now at the five, you got to be able to still guard, you know, maybe 4 through 5 positions on the court at a time. You still got to be able to rebound. You got to be able to guard the three and also be able to shoot threes. So I think the NBA is evolving in a way. Some people may question, is it evolving for the better of the game, which is a different question. But you do have players that I feel like can carry that torch. If that's what we're really asking is like, do I see any players that can kind of, keep the game on a good level, competitive, but also being dominant. You do got a lot of players around the league that are very skilled. Like I'm thinking of guys that I feel like can carry the mantle as far as like being, guys who could, carry the torch for the younger generation like yourself. I would say look at guys like, Shea Gilders Alexander. You got guys like, you know, Nikola Jokic, who I feel like, even though he has 3 MVPs, he's still underrated as far as his skill, um, his mental, effects of the game with just his mind. You have other players out there that are tremendously talented. You got guys like De'Aaron Fox. I feel like is a really good point guard. You have like Tyrese Halliburton out of Indiana. But I feel like what's really killing the game is a lot of these players that are like in that top tier at certain positions right now, they play for like a lot of smaller market teams. If you take a look at around the league, you'll see that a lot of the guys who either lead in scoring, lead in rebounding, lead in assist, a lot of those guys play for smaller marketed teams. So you don't see a lot of those team players in bigger markets that are leading, in some of those major categories. I feel like the Knicks are one of the rare teams where they have some players that are stars, which they just got Carl Anthony Towns or Big Cat, through the offseason. But, he comes to a team where you got like Jalen Brunson, who was a player that's kind of worked his way up to where he's at. He wasn't like, a budding superstar since he came out, as a rookie. So you got guys on good teams, but some of the players that are highly skilled players aren't in big markets. And so I think that also affects the trajectory of the game for the fans of your generation. Some of these guys are just, not on TV, not getting the big games, but are producing on a night to night basis. Like I said, you can look at Shea Gilders Alexander. He plays in Oklahoma City. Um, Tisman, he been cooking guys in the league for the past few years. Probably even back to when he was a rookie. He's been doing it. But because he's not like American born, and he plays in a smaller market, he kind of gets overlooked for his talents. But there are a bunch of guys out there for another episode that are highly skilled. Another guy comes to mind is Anthony Edwards. He plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, smaller market. You got Halliburton in a smaller market. But you got guys that play on like the Olympics team, and they're not on these, teams that are like Chicago's not good. You got Zach Levine, he's an all-star caliber player, but um, they haven't been winning. So that also plays a factor into where the game goes. So I think it's the marketability of the players, what teams they play for, um, and then what's going on around the league. Sometimes the competition at your position just kind of bumps you to the back. But that was a great question. Shout out to you for calling in and leaving that voicemail. As always, I am your host, the one and only Yano from Chicago. Peace.